My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite UnderDog Fantasy entry for UFC Kansas City. If you don't know what UnderDog Fantasy is, well, it's daily fantasy. You just come on here and you look at the numbers on the screen and you say higher or lower. And if you're right, you can 20 times your money. It is the highest payout in the daily fantasy prop game, period. 20 times. Nobody else offers a 20x payout for getting just 5 right. 20x is absolutely insane. You can even add insurance, which will bump you from 20 to 10, but you got one wrong and you still get paid. WeOnPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. They will instantly match your deposit. Take the free money. Give them 100, they'll give you 100. Give them 50, they'll give you 50. Take the free money, build yourself an entry, and get paid. WeOnPicks.com/underdog. That promo code is WWP. Let's go ahead and build an entry. They have a new thing here. Fantasy Points is brand new for UnderDog. This is the first event that I've seen it. So let's go ahead and look at their fantasy rules. They have interesting fantasy scoring. 0.5 significant strikes. So every significant strike, you're going to get a half of a point. Submission attempts are 4 points. A takedown is 5. A knockdown is 10. And then there's bonuses for round wins. Noticeably absent are takedown defenses, control time. So this... You're really relying on the bonuses if you're going for more. Because if you're not going for more, you just need takedowns, submission attempts, and a whole bunch of strikes. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and jump in. Max Holloway, more than 129.5 significant strikes. If you think he wins, that's probably a higher, frankly. He's a busy dude, and he puts up giant numbers. What did we just say? Significant strike is a half a point. The problem is he needs 160 to get to the 80. Obviously, there's a win bonus in there. How much is the win bonus? Decision is 10. So I'm not going to do the fantasy points because it's going to be hard to get to that number, even with a 10-point win bonus, especially if there's no takedowns. But he should land more than 129.5 significant strikes. He's done that in almost every single one of his wins. We got Billy Quarantillo. I do think he'll get more than 2 takedowns. Again, I need him to wrestle to win this fight. He's fighting Edson Barboza. He's going to be the much better striker. Billy has wrestling. We've seen him wrestle. Hopefully he wrestles. We just need 2 for this to hit, and I do think that will happen. Outside of that, I'm going to go ahead and mess around with Chris Gutierrez fantasy points. Full disclosure, this is my first ever fantasy point entry with UnderDog because it's new, but 51.5 just seems low considering Chris does have volume. He does have power. I could see a knockdown. I could see a finish as well. So Chris Gutierrez could absolutely get this done and blow past that. So I'm going to go ahead, throw the more on him. And then the same exact logic with Mateusz Nicolau. He's 49.5. He's fighting Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval has never lost a decision. I think Nicolau wins. Check. And when Brandon Royval loses, he is finished. So Mateusz Nicolau should blow past the 49.5 fantasy points. And then if we head on over to Rivals, what Rivals is, it's the fighters in the fight. It's these 2 people. And you're just picking a side. So for example, significant strikes. Who's going to land more in this fight? They're giving Arnold Allen 30.5 to start. So Max Holloway is going to need to land 31 more significant strikes than Arnold Allen to win. That honestly probably happens. I'm not checking that because I already did just more than 129. But frankly, 30 is that's a great handicap because Max Holloway just absolutely laps people when it comes to straight volume. But the only one I really like here is the Dustin Jacoby significant strikes. They're giving him 11.5 handicap. So Dustin Jacoby's going to have to land 12 more significant strikes than Azamat. That should not be a problem. Even if Azamat wins, it's going to be a Hail Mary bomb. That's what it's going to be. He's not going to methodically outstrike Dustin. That's just not going to happen. He could potentially go to his wrestling, but Dustin has phenomenal takedown defense. So I think Dustin wins the fight, but even if he doesn't, he should be way ahead in the significant strike count and then get caught with something. If you go look at the stats, Azamat Murzakanov beat Tafon Chukwi 2 fights ago. His significant strikes were like tripled. And then he landed the big knee to win. So I think something like that would happen here if he even lands that big knee to win. So let's go ahead. We're going to throw $10 at this. 10 to win 200. I always add the insurance. If 4 out of 5 wins, we're going to make some good money. 5 out of 5 wins, we'll make even better money. Let's lock this in. Max Holloway, more than 129 significant strikes. Billy Q, more than 2 takedowns. Chris Gutierrez, higher on fantasy. Nicolau, higher on fantasy. And Dustin, higher on significant strikes. I already have an entry. That was my second entry. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last one I built. The last one was just 3 picks. I did the Chris higher, the Nicolau higher, and the Dustin Jacoby rivals. So I have those 3, and I added 2 more for you here. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. That promo code is WWP. Take the free money. Build yourself an entry.